guys, Darius X here, back with another What If, and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so and turn on all post notifications to be aware of every single video that I post. Yeah. Anyways, with that said, I appreciate all of the support recently, and thank you for 6.1k, or 6,108 subscribers at the time of recording. I just wanted to say that sorry for being, very, inconsistent with the uploads, and I will be more consistent, and there will be a part that will come very soon after this one. Anyways, this is what if Naruto had Sasuke or Indra Otsutsuki's eyes, and I hope everybody appreciates this video and subscribes if you haven't already and likes the video. Anyways, guys, for a what if like this, there are a lot of things that I must address, I must clarify before actually starting off the what if. So, just for the sake of the what if, Naruto is just going to be born with the eyes of Sasuke/Indra Otsutsuki. He's not an Uchiha, but for some odd reason, he was born with 2 Mangekyo in his eyes. He can also activate and deactivate his eyes as if he was an actual Uchiha. He also can, he also has the ability to use the Mangekyo more often due to him being a descendant of Ashura, and because Uzumakis and Senjus have bodies that are naturally durable than others. Because of this, Naruto is able to use the Mangekyo more often than he would be able to if he was an actual Uchiha, due to the fact that because his body is stronger, his eyes will not deteriorate at the same rate than a normal Uchiha's eyes would. Naruto was born with the dojutsu, but he must experience something very traumatic for him to be able to reawaken or reobtain his Mangekyo eyes. Now, I'm going to say a bit of info that is quite vital to understanding the story, and yeah. Now, Naruto is not the reincarnation of Indra Otsutsuki, and I just wanted to clarify that he is still Ashura's reincarnation. And because he has Indra Otsutsuki's eyes in his left eye, he has the ability that Indra Otsutsuki was able to use, and this ability is called Hino Kagetsuchi. It is a Mangekyo Sharingan Dojutsu unique to Indra Otsutsuki's left eye, which strongly resembles Amaterasu in both form and function. It allows him to produce black flames at the focal point of his vision. So, because Naruto has his eyes, now Naruto will be able to use this technique as well. Little actually is known about the technique, so throughout the story it is going to be cited as having abilities similar to Amaterasu, and I'm probably just going to blatantly call it Amaterasu. And finally, in Naruto's right eye is the ability to manipulate time. Okay, so I know that Indra nor Sasuke have the ability to manipulate time entirely, but this ability is unique to only Naruto. So, Naruto can slow down time for the duration of 5 seconds and 30 seconds if he uses massive and enormous amounts of his chakra reserves. And now, with all of that said, we are going to get into the story. It was the night of the Kyuubi attack. Naruto would be born, and for some odd reason, his eyes were quite weird. They had the appearance of multiple swirls. It was red and black in color, and it was very odd to Minato and Kushina. Nonetheless, the two would steal the 9-tailed Kyuubi fox into Naruto, and would be killed by the claw, or nail, of the 9-tails. In his early years as a child, Naruto would constantly grow up bullied and brutally attacked by others due to the fact that a monster lied within him. Anything he did would be seen as futile and disgusting, and it made him think that even blinking infuriated the villagers. He tried daily to try and stop the pain and this brutal treatment from the locals by doing things like helping others and cleaning up garbage that was on the streets. And one day, Naruto would be walking back to his orphanage, or his home, when he would be stopped by 3 boys. They wanted Naruto gone from the leaf, out of their village, and they despised him for practically no reason. When he tried running away, Naruto would almost be forced directly into submission before ultimately being put into a headlock by one of the opposing bullies. The two other bullies would then continuously beat down upon a hopeless Naruto as he got closer and closer to losing consciousness as he cried for help. Once this happened, he started to become nauseous and began to vomit. This would cause the bullies to release Naruto as he exploded within a pit of vomit onto the ground, which was quite disgusting. As Naruto looked up and glanced upon the villagers, yet again he would look at them with agonizing anger and devilish anguish. He was furious. The ramen he once consumed all out of his system as his stomach growled in disbelief and frustration. Naruto would then slowly stand up as red Kyuubi chakra illuminated off of him before encasing him in its wrath. Once he realized the bullies were making a run for it, he would chase them down, getting closer and closer to them as he powered up his chakra even more and even further. Once he got to them, he would punch and kick all of them endlessly, and similarly to how they did once to him, they would leave them helpless. Or he would leave them helpless. More and more anger and rage would start to spill out of Naruto as he grew fangs and eyes that turned slit-like with rage. Naruto would soon become a beacon of Kyuubi chakra as he then severely injured them and left them on the floor and in agonizing pain. His Kyuubi chakra would then dispel from his body as he walked away slowly from the scene with tears in his eyes. Also, in the midst of this, he had obtained his Mangekyo Sharingan, or reawakened it. As he walked away, tears would flood his eyes. He knew that the villagers of Konohagakure would never accept and love him anymore. Not that they did in the first place. And unlike before, he knew that with the hurting of those bullies, they would also see him as a beast entirely and a savage monster. Days would pass since it happened, and Naruto would wonder what had happened and what was the red chakra that formed and erupted within him. He thought about it for a while as it sort of plagued his mind for days to come, thinking that maybe he was a monster after all. As he looked out of his window of his room in his orphanage, he would glance upon the bright lunar moon and would question his own identity, wondering if he was in fact a beast, unworthy of anyone's love, before eventually laying his head on his pillow and falling asleep. When Naruto woke up in the morning, he decided that he would train for the first time in his life. Also, I would just like to reiterate and remind any of you guys confused with Naruto's age that he, at the time of this what if currently in part 1 of this what if, by the way, is 7 years old and is an academy student. Also, the time of graduation will be quite different from canon, but the kids in this class will be the exact same. When Naruto got up, he realized that there was no school for today, and he had all day off, which was quite exciting for him. This signified to Naruto that he would have the entire day off, leaving room for him to train extensively. As he thought of training methods in his head, he would be approached by Rock Lee for some odd reason. Naruto, knowing of how Rock Lee trained quite hard, would go to him and would ask him for ways to train. Unbeknownst to Naruto, Lee would tell Naruto that if he wanted to be trained by him, then he would gladly train him. Naruto told Lee that he did in fact want this and would start being trained by him personally. After Naruto was fitted with 20-pound weighted clothing and Rock Lee's extra clothing, that was resembled of Guy, he would be fitted with 20 pounds and he would start training with Rock Lee. After getting used to the weight, Naruto would move up to 25 pounds and would begin his training with Lee. The two would train quite hard and Naruto would be subject to very harsh conditions. The brutal and devastating training regimen would almost make Naruto give up entirely on multiple occasions, but because he knew that he had to get stronger, he wouldn't focus on the pain. Physically, though, Naruto would have to stop due to the fact that because he was training so hard, he would pull a tendon and even a muscle. This would mean that Naruto would have to spend multiple days injured and unable to attend school due to him being in so much pain. In turn, this would cause Naruto to not have many grades, and even the grading that he had wasn't too great, making it quite hard for him to get passing grades. This would inadvertently cause him to get bad grading, and would almost lead him to failing the academy. We now take a 10-week time skip because 10 weeks is the days or amount of weeks that one must get or undergo to recover from such injuries. Naruto's body by this point is almost in full health, and he would gradually get back to training, though definitely not as hard as before and definitely with less weight. He knew that in order to perform well in school, he would actually have to pay attention and learn, so that is what he sought out and tried to do. While he was walking back from a long day of school, though, Naruto would be stopped by Mizuki and later would be persuaded to steal the scroll of sealing by Mizuki. And with that said, I am now going to close off and the part of this what if and make it to a close. Anyways, guys, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for 6,000 subscribers. I appreciate it, and thank you very much. And with that said, I'm now going to be ending this video.